The Supreme Court, they're back for another season of torment and torture. Supreme Court to hear a case that could have massive impact on U.S. water quality. The Supreme Court on Monday will hear arguments of a case between Idaho landowners and the Environmental Protection Agency, a dispute that could redefine the scope of the country's clean water regulations. The first case of the justice's new term, landing just ahead of the Clean Water Act's 50th anniversary, will feature arguments about wetlands and when they can or can't be regulated by the federal government. Although technical in nature, the legal dispute could have broad implications for the country's water quality if the 6-3 conservative majority court uses the case to narrow the EPA's regulatory reach. Quote, if that's what the Supreme Court should decide, we're basically rolling back the clock 50 years, said Rep. Peter DeFazio. That's a good name, DeFazio, and it's got the capital F. I want to know more about DeFazio. That's a great name. I gotta write a novel just so I can create a character who's named DeFazio. That's a great... Anyway, who chairs a House panel on water resources and the environment that would remove 50% of our critical wetlands and 70% of our rivers and streams from federal protection. The case began in 2007. It's an old case. When Michael and Chantel Sackett were told they needed a federal permit to build a home on land they owned because it contained wetlands, prompting the Sacketts to sue. The goddamn Sacketts. I mean, we got some crazy names. DeFazio, Sackett. I mean, Jesus. This is an all-star fucking situation here. A federal court siding with the U.S. government ruled that the wetlands on the Sackett's property contained a significant nexus with other regulated waters, meaning the couple would need authorization to build there. The Sacketts are now urging the Supreme Court to discard the significant nexus threshold. Instead, their petition favors a separate test from former Justice Antonin Scalia that called for the waters to have a continuous surface water connection, a higher threshold that would apply to fewer wetlands. The stakes of this case, however, go far beyond one property dispute. It attracted briefs from environmental groups, which argue that it would hamper the government's ability to keep people safe from pollution, as well as industries like farming, mining, construction, and oil and gas, which support the deregulatory effort. There was some bullshit with the EPA a couple of months ago that basically said that the EPA couldn't regulate some other bullshit regarding wetlands. And the Inflation Reduction Act also kind of tried to put some language in there to clarify that. It wasn't a perfect solution. So anyway, this would basically just undo that and go even further than it was before. So there you go. This is a very, very big deal for the Clean Water Act. It will determine likely whether the Clean Water Act can protect half of the water bodies in this country, and if it can't, meeting the water quality goals of the new law that we all count on will be virtually impossible, said John Devine, who leads the Natural Resources Defense Federal Water Policy Team. The case appears to mirror regulatory differences between the Trump administration's efforts to limit regulations to just wetlands with continuous surface water connections to other regulated waters and the Obama administration's regulations, which apply to significant nexus test. Basically, water is we don't live in a world that we look down on from space and there's a blue line, that's the water, and there's no water anywhere else, right? So Republicans live in that fantasy world where they think the blue line is the only water in the world. But in the real world, water can travel underground. It can travel underground, right? So if you poison certain water supplies and they're connected underground, it's going to have larger implications on the quality of water. So this above ground water test or whatever, it's just fucking stupid. These people live in another fucking world. I gotta be honest with you, man. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. A total of 51% of the country's wetlands would not be protected under the Trump-era rule, according to a slideshow obtained by E&E News. The Biden administration has proposed to regulate some wetlands that meet the significant nexus standard, and while the Sackett's petition in the court appears to be in support of the continuous surface water test, in their opening court brief, they propose a separate test. They say that the wetlands should be inseparably bound up with another regulated water and also subject to Congress's authority over interstate waters. Damien Schiff, a lawyer representing the Sacketts, said that abiding by the Clean Water Act can be significantly burdensome, both in the application process itself and in the requirements to mitigate environmental damage. Here's an idea. How about the government comes in and says, yeah, we'll build this thing, whatever it is, for you. You want to build something here? We gotcha. We'll build the foundation. We'll make sure it doesn't fuck with the water supply. And, or maybe give you a tax credit, some other shit. I don't know, man. Like, why is it that, like, these weird decisions about, like, some dude's private property would, like, in the United States, right? We live in this bizarre-ass, shitty fucking world, right? Where, like, some guy's backyard, they want to build, like, a shack in their backyard, and that has implications that are going to destroy half of America's water supply. Like, okay, step one, some dumbass wants to build a shack. Step two, half of America has poisoned water. Why is... What? Like, why do we live in this fucking world? Like, what a stupid-ass fucking bitch-ass world. So anyway, you can read more of this. But the Supreme Court is back in session, folks. And that means some breaking news will be coming out pretty much every week from these motherfuckers. But there you go. The Sacketts and DeFazio. It's an all-star fucking cast here. So there you go. The popes shall die. Can I test your wetlands? Only if you pay? Can they test my wetlands? Maybe. The class war has already started. We just aren't fighting back. I agree. Advocating for clean water is considered radical. Yep. Could you think about it this way, though? Like, as a world, right, we are so, like, as a species, think about this, okay? Think about this on the grand level. You know, like, 100,000 years ago, we're walking in the fucking savannas and shit, okay? So, humans are so fucking stupid that the most basic things that we need to live, water, air, and food. We have been a species for a very long time. Civilizations have been coming around and going for, you know, dozens of thousands of years. And we still have yet to figure out how to get water, food, and air to the people that live in these societies. What? Now, again, that's crazy to me. That shit is crazy. Right, it is. Maxie, what the fuck? Are you okay? Oh, he's got a tennis ball in his mouth. Literally, 100,000 plus years of human evolution, dozens and dozens of thousands of years of societal, civilizational evolution, and we still don't have clean water, clean food, and clean air? That's some crazy shit. That's some crazy ass shit. I mean, humans are dumb as fuck. Oh my god.